Bên lên mạng coi thấy Chu là vậy bà.
Rồi nhỉ. Silver. Tôi quên mất YouTube tên gì rồi.
Exigon.
Thấy rồi nè.
Không mà kiểu bên bên mở coi có tiếng không, nghe tiếng chú nói không?
Nói gì đi.
Hello, chào mọi người, hello.
Tôi nghe giọng tôi luôn. Oh shit, tôi nghe giọng tôi.
Đây chúng ta dắt bài môn ngu ngục đi du lịch.
Nghe giọng tôi luôn.
Let's light it up.
Nghe giọng tôi.
Giọng bạn everywhere.
Time for retribution. Better than nothing.
Phải có nguyên tố thảo thì mới mở được cái mở được cục đá lên. Kiểu hồi chiều giờ mò hoài không ra. Ban bật full cái đồ họa coi mình thấy đẹp không?
Mà thấy hết luôn, thấy HD luôn gì nữa.
Tôi bật full HD luôn mà.
Đúng.
Bây giờ nè, chưa mở được. Thấy được cô Lê trong Mỹ rồi nè.
Rosie! Where are you, Rosie?
Someone's calling for Rosie over there.
Tôi làm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh, Rosie! Thank goodness I finally found you. What would I do without you, my son?
Tôi mở bình tuyết luôn. Tôi like bình tuyết luôn.
Where are you, Rosie?
Someone's calling for Rosie.
Không biết có lắc không? Kiểu có trang tuyết nữa, chắc chỉ có nước ngoài xem, ở Việt Nam ít xem.
Oh, Rosie! Thank goodness I finally found you. What would I do without you, my son? Were you in danger? Did the wild beasts scare you? Did the stars guide?
I'm okay.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Học tiếng Anh.
I dare say that even the most cold-hearted Spino crocodile would be moved to tears by your kindness.
Oh, it's nothing. It's all part of my responsibility as a trainee forest ranger. I'm the one who should thank you for creating so many wonderful stories for the children of Sumeru. I love them too.
Really? I didn't know anyone read my stories apart from young children. That must mean you're still in touch with your inner child. Okay then. I have the inspiration for my next story. It shall be about an Aranara granny who's a child at heart.
Huh? It's an honor to become the source of your inspiration. Whoa. Kale looks like she's about to pass out. Hey Kale, are you okay? I'm okay. Sorry. I just got a little too excited.
Are you two story lovers as well? Yes, yes. The moment I saw you, the image of an aura giant and an aura finch traveling together. Oh? Who asked for my help? My sincerest apologies, but I have fans all over Sumeru. Trying to remember every last one is like trying to identify each grain of sand in the desert.
Seems like Tanja has a slightly exaggerated view of what it means to be a children's author. Also, Paimon's not a finch! That's nothing to get excited about!
Mỹ nhắn. Đây. Cuối cùng 70k quá rồi.
Akara Crafts.
Great.
Akara Crafts. Oh! Oh, right. I remember now. That small boat once sailed into the sea of my memory, but before long it floated away over the horizon, never to be seen again. Perhaps for the best. After all, a wild tempest was raging in Tangier Harbor.
What?
Rồi.
Paimon has no idea what he's saying. What should we do? Do you think we should get Tainari to take a look at him?
Dad's saying he forgot about helping the people at Akara Crafts learn more about Aranara because right now he has something more important to do.
Oh, that's what he meant! Well, there it is! All the proof you needed that this kid is definitely Tanjir's son. Wait, no, this isn't the time for all that. Tanjir, your help is pretty vital to the toy makers. You gotta do something!
But the garden that blooms before my eyes is of greater importance. For therein lies the beautiful Padisara that all the children of Sumeru dream of. I, Tanjir, have found evidence of Aranara activity right here in the Avidia forest, conclusively proving that Aranara not only exists in stories, but in real life too. If I manage to document the first real-life Aranara sighting, the petty problems that perplex Akara Crafts will be untangled in no time. Meanwhile, I may well be able to leverage this to assume leadership of the academia.
Thanh niên nó vô xem trước thanh niên nó đi già chứ.
I haven't written any papers myself, but I think you need to have a bunch of them approved by the review board before entering the academia. You also need a detailed and objective experiment record. Anyway, Tanja, what did you mean by evidence of Aranara activity?
The hook's what's important in a story. The great storyteller Tanjir never gives his audience the bait right away. Come with me.
Wait, not that way.
Not that way.
Kale, what's wrong? Nothing. But that way leads us deeper into the Avidia forest. I'm just concerned for Tanja's safety. And I think I'm starting to understand why Razi and Tanja were fighting.
Just as I expected, the promise of one of my stories has kept you hot on my heels.
But this is just an ordinary tree hollow. I'm not seeing any evidence of Aranara.
You can deceive the eyes, but you can't deceive the heart. Look with your heart and you too will understand.
Paimon's not sure what look with your heart means, but anyway, let's start by investigating the area around this tree hollow.
Nói nhiều đường nhiều, không có trả giá.
Ấy 70.000. Mong ngày mai thằng nhà anh có tiền số lại. Không thì thôi, tôi cho luôn. Các bạn luôn, không sao đâu.
Hey, look! There's a new... the handwriting's so hard to read. It's too hard. I can't remember the names of all these mushrooms. Do Aranara need to learn about mushroom classification?
Nghe tiếng mình nhỏ xíu.
Here's another note that sounds more like something in art.
Hình như anh mở cái máy thứ hai đúng không?
Không biết nữa.
clever are mushroom classification. Yeah. Here's another note that sounds more like something in art.
Tại sao không ai rep tôi? Tại sao? Tôi quá tổn thương.
How does it feel to bear witness to a groundbreaking discovery? Exciting, isn't it? The crude handwriting may look like I doubt that a child would be able to reach this deep into the forest, and I doubt even more that they would think of this lowly tree hollow as some sort of impenetrable castle. I boldly hypothesize that this tree hollow is in fact the Aranara's academia. The notes we saw were written by the Aranara themselves. There is no doubt in my mind about that. An Aranara that wasn't so bright left a note here wishing to become a clever Aranara. Oh, I shall craft a new story for them and call it The Aranara in the Tree Hollow. How's that? Don't the very words just conjure up images of Aranara in your mind's eye?
Nope.
Well, many an adventurer knows how to take to the skies with their easily visible wind gliders, yet they do not possess the invisible wings of imagination, making it hard for them to keep up with my train of thought. How about you, Miss Forest Ranger? Do you soar into the atmosphere on the wings of imagination?
Huh? Me? I don't know.
Cô Lê dễ thương.
Maybe I do, but maybe... Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that witnessing Tanja's creative process
Này
is a
là nó gọi là
little...
đúng kiểu nữ tính.
Overwhelming.
Oh, yes. Yes. Overwhelming.
For now, I've decided to stay here with Razi until we witness the legendary moment when the Aranara appear in this hollow. Don't worry, I won't let the Akara Crafts toymakers down. When a real Aranara appears, their little troubles will be resolved in an instant.
He seems pretty stubborn. Looks like we'll have to stay here and wait a little longer. No, I think we should return to our camp first. Tanja, in Aranara and the Three Little Fungus, it says that Aranara are very sensitive creatures. I don't think they'll show up if we stay here.
I won't let the Akara Crafts toymakers down. Oh? Was that in the story? Ah, yes, I remember now. Miss Forest Ranger, you sure know your stuff. In that case, let's go back to camp and call it a day. We'll continue our search for evidence first thing in the morning.
Thông báo gì mới? Nội dung cập nhật.
In that case, let's go back to camp and call it a day. We'll continue our search for evidence first thing in the morning.
Kiểu tháng này mới cập nhật xong tháng sau cập nhật tiếp vậy.
Giàu.
Tháng sau là kỷ niệm 2 năm rồi. Tháng sau là vừa đúng ngày trung thu luôn.
Trung thu mệt.
Cho các bạn, đây là mình đây. Ủa? Ôi chưa được nữa. Quay tiếp. Nãy giờ tôi mở hèn chi tôi nghe cái tiếng ở đâu, tiếng của banh kìa. Ủa, sao tự nhiên tôi có tiếng banh nhỏ xíu. Thì ra tôi mở thêm một cái tab nữa vậy.
Ở sao?
Traveler! Traveler! Wake up!
Nó kiểu banh mọi
It's
người.
not the Aranara! It's Kale! She's gone! Oh, Paimon's been worried about Kale. Anyway, let's go find her! Hey, look! Aren't these Kale's footprints? But why are they headed towards the tree hollow?
Ok rồi.
Yep. So Kale came back here alone. Is she waiting for the Aranara to show up? And I thought this was a place nobody knew about. I never thought Tanja would find it, or that I would run into the Traveler and Paimon. If I'd known, I would have just told the tree hollow instead of writing it down. There must be another way to practice my handwriting. Now I've created a whole new problem for myself. What do I do now? Dress up as an Aranara? Oh, no, that won't work. I should be writing something that an Aranara would never say, so that Tanja won't mistake me for one of them. But what should I write? What should I write? Oh, I've got it! There's no way Tanja could see this as the work of an Aranara. So the evidence of Aranara activity we saw during the day was actually evidence of Kale's activity. But why didn't she just tell Tanja? Oh, right! Kale told Razi that he could tell any secret to a tree hollow. Must be because that's what she does, and now she even writes it down. Yeah, you're right. We'll keep her secret for her. Oh, looks like she's almost done writing. Let's head back.
Aha! There's a new note just as I expected. Yes! It's the same handwriting, which means it must have been written by the same Aranara. Let's see what it says.
Ooh, what could it be?
I want to visit No, that's impossible. This must be some kind of Even I would never write that into a...
So, in other words, the notes can't... yeah. If you ask me...
No, I refuse to believe it. I can't.
What do you mean you can't? It's not like it'll take you a huge amount of effort. You've written so many stories beloved by the children. I'm sure you can help create carvings that are just as successful.
No! I can't do it. I thought that if I could find an Aranara, I'd be able to help Akara Crafts. But it was someone from Mondstadt all along.
But you've managed to write all those stories without ever having seen a real Aranara, right? What makes this so different?
Razi, you tell them.
Really? Can I?
Yes, it's fine. Tell them. I know this is the moment you've been waiting for.
Okay. Kale, Traveler, Paimon, do you remember when I said... I didn't want to tell anyone the secret, but it made me feel very sad and also turned Dad into a completely different person. So, I think I should tell you. Dad isn't the one who came up with all those Aranara stories.
What? Hold on. So if Uncle Tanja wasn't the author, then who was it? Wait. You don't mean...
It was me. Dad's been telling stories in Port Ormos for as long as I can remember. I always got to listen to all his new stories. Every night, Dad would give me a Zaytun peach for dinner, and I'd eat it while he told his stories. The Zaytun peaches were delicious, but Dad's stories were really bad. He always uses sentences that are really hard to understand, and strange, metaphors, I think they're called. But Dad kept on going, telling his stories again and again. Oh, one time, he even borrowed a camera from Lord Sangema Bey's shop and got me to take pictures of him in action. Dad showed me the picture and said that it shall become the precious record of Sumeru's best storyteller early in his career. Even though I only had Zaytun peaches to eat and not so great stories to listen to, I was happy. Then one day, I tried telling Dad a story I came up with. Dad seemed really excited from the very beginning. He looked really happy. He lifted me up high into the air and told me to continue. He lifted me up so high that I was looking down at him. As I continued with my story, I saw his expression gradually change. And when I got to my favorite part, Dad started crying. I guess he must have been moved by my story. When Dad put me back down, I looked up at him again, but now he had a scary look in his eyes.
You remember it so vividly.
It's not only Razi. I, too, remember every detail of what happened that day. After that, I gradually grew in fame and started making money. I became Sumeru's best storyteller, just as I always dreamed. Finally, we could afford more than just Zaytun peaches for dinner. I thought it would make Razi happy.
I was really happy at first, but then everyone started calling me Tanja's son instead of Razi. I kinda guessed why, but I also didn't want to believe it. Dad got busier with things that had nothing to do with storytelling, like that request from Akara Crafts. So I made up my mind that this time, I just want to be good old Razi so that Dad will become good old Dad again. Instead of Dad the way he is now, starting every story with, "Dedicated to my dearest Razi." I prefer my dad how he used to be, stumbling over words and not knowing how to end the story. That's why I decided to keep how I imagine Aranara to look like a secret.
Wait, Paimon gets it now. To sum up, all of Uncle Tanja's fairy tales were actually stories written by Razi. And because Razi didn't want Tanja to keep living a lie, he refused to help him with the Kara Crafts commission.
Yes. That's why I tried looking for possible evidence of Aranara. But it turned out that I was just being a clown, as always. And not even a funny one. I'm a terrible father. I'm sorry, Razi. I'm so sorry. And I owe you all an apology, too, for wasting your time. Razi's the only one who can help Akara Crafts. If you can manage to persuade him, that is. Right now, I think I just want to find a tree hollow and be quiet for a while.
Are we gonna let this happen?
You want me to help Akara Crafts with their carving? Well, I did mention what the Aranara look like in my stories, but to make a carving, we might need more details. Kale, Traveler, and Paimon, I might need your help on this one. I've never really left Port Ormos before. This is my first time in Gandharvaville. Well, it's my first time being so far from home. Sumeru is so much bigger than I thought. Seeing new places has given me loads of new ideas for my Aranara stories. So I want to visit more places in Sumeru. That way, I can help Akara Crafts create an Aranara carving that everyone will love. And I also want to take pictures of Dad everywhere that we travel to.
You still want me to come with you? Even after all I've done?
Yeah, of course. Come on, you're the best dad ever.
This is the happiest Arazi has sounded since we met him.
I want to thank you, Kale.
Huh? Me? I didn't do anything to help.
You told me about telling my secrets to a tree hollow. Even though I didn't have the time to find a tree hollow, telling everyone my secret made me feel so much better.
Yeah. It's hard to keep too many secrets. And there's no need to hide our mistakes from others all the time. I made a lot of mistakes back in Mondstadt. But when I look back on them, it all feels more like a new beginning. I'm sure this experience will be the same for Tanja.
Yes. I'll do my best to become a good father again. Wait. Did you just say you've been to Mondstadt?
I just passed by once. Never mind that. Come on now. Akara Crafts is waiting for us. Let's go, Razi. Grab that camera and see what hidden inspiration you can discover along the way.
Okay, let's go. Come on, Dad.
Razi, slow down and watch your step.
Yeah!
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional spices of the highest quality, made with pride and experience.
You've got a deal. I can't thank you enough for always looking after my business.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict, but does the core of 30 care? And that's not all. Did you know that...
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! Huh? Guess that's only to be expected for the largest port in Sumeru. Maybe it's because of what Dia told us earlier, but Paimon can't seem to shake the feeling that there's also danger lurking in these crowds. Ooh. Let's get our bearings so we can start looking for leads. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. But other than that, we don't have much else to go on. Osfun told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way here, and the Academia doesn't seem to have any research facilities in Port Ormos. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia? Well, given all the people that come through here every day, if there's any information to be found, Paimon bets we could find it in the market. Let's ask around and see what we come up with.
Welcome. Welcome. How can I help you two?
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question. Do students from the Academia ever come to Port Ormos?
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City that are about to graduate often come to Port Ormos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the Academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the Academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos, so students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the Academia. Ah, you see over there? Those are students from the Academia. They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days ago. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need, then life is good.
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can listen in.
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about the Scarlet King and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein El Akhmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the Academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be made. I've heard that Ein El Hakmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 Mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to graduate this way.
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious to Paimon. Is knowledge something people just buy and sell like that? So, what's our plan? Wait, didn't you hear what they just said? Oh, all right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of Mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot. This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group they mentioned.
Oh, you've arrived. Please, take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of the Scarlet King, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of Mora this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick Mora?
Yeah, with boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is the Scarlet King, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when the Scarlet King exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that if we get the chance later.
Huh? Who are you? What do you want? A traveler?
Now's probably not the time to talk about that. Didn't the students say Eremites are wary of outsiders?
A student? Huh. What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Paimon can...
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right! We heard you mention the Scarlet King just now. We're actually interested to know more because... because we're... archaeology students!
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of the Scarlet King. Years ago, the Scarlet King founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. The Scarlet King was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed the Scarlet King's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. The Scarlet King isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of the Scarlet King. I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached its end.
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Huh?
You again? Deranged Academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for you. Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their territory. Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the more you're worth.
Hey! Shut it all, Hatham! What are you playing at, trying to ruin our business like this, hmm?
I told you the other day. I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the Academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate the ownership of Tevat. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course of action will sting a little more than the mere falling through of a few business deals. I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it?
Well...
Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, but sent the Emirites running too! Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions. He went that way! After him!
What do you want? No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed. We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with your Mora in the end, they might harass you again in the future. All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still have something to ask you about! Since you tore through their scam right in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
Who exactly are you two? And why are a student? Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Huh? Oh, yeah! She's really strong! Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
She doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but she can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from from guys like that. Those high-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
All right, I accept. Got a pen and paper? If you're searching for someone who sells that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck. We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
You were willing to part with 500,000 Mora for something and you didn't even know what it was? Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating information.
We know it's connected to the Academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but...
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking for.
Huh? Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents. Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information, knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
That's amazing!
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the Academia. Now, in Port Ormos, the valuable ones are a means to Mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless Academia students. Well, I think that about sums it up. Oh, so that's your... With our current arrangement, you're still... Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must help me with something. I need you to find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant. Unlike the peddlers who hawk inferior knowledge capsules, she often has quality goods in stock. She's guarded against people from the Academia because most of her wares don't comply with... I think she blacklisted me. I met with her informant, but it soon became clear. Become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task, you don't have question privileges.
Fine. So how do we go about doing this?
You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. I'll give you the informant's address and their contact password. Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she might have up her sleeve. You'll have to improvise.
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for Mora and a shrewd eye for wares, and she only likes customers who she deems to have good taste. I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her highest quality wares and earn her approval.
What? We only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time! We don't know how to tell which ones are good and which ones are bad. Is that something we can learn quickly?
That's true. Have you two heard of elemental sight? Oh? That's a surprise. Guess I'll have to hold you in higher regard. Anyway, that ability should resolve your issue. Here are 2 knowledge capsules. Tell me, can you detect any difference in their quality?
They look the same to Paimon.
Try inspecting them with elemental sight.
How'd it go? Did you see anything?
Rumor has it that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through elemental sight. That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. The more powerful the knowledge, the richer it is in Dendro energy. However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use in contemporary times, so those capsules are of little value. Using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure, but it should suffice for earning Dory's trust.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password, and here is the Mora for purchasing canned knowledge. Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. If there's any Mora left over, just keep it. Oh, and be sure to exercise some caution. There have been Matra present in Port Ormos lately. Your efforts will be for naught if they catch you.
Matra?
They belong to the Academia's regulatory body. They also handle cases of illegal canned knowledge transactions. Like I said, the Academia has banned both their trade and possession. The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back out, now's the time. Okay, then we have a deal. If you succeed in your dealings with Dory, come find me at the Wikela Funduk. We'll have an open discussion then.
Looking at what Al-Haytham wrote, Dory's informant is a trader near Old Ormos. Let's follow these instructions and try to get in contact with him.